I think we are live officially. Welcome to SYP Live or the SYP Watchalong for Vegas and Utah in game one of the Stanley Cup Playoffs Western Conference Round 1 series between the two teams. I don't think the game actually is starting at any point. By the way, I should introduce myself. My name is McNaughton. Welcome to SYP. You can follow us on on Instagram at SYP Pod. You can follow us on the podcast, which is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just search us up wherever. We are doing a live stream for Vegas and Utah. The last game, which I don't think is actually going to be starting at 7 o'clock Pacific, but I could be completely wrong. I'm just going to pull it up here because I just got in. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. It's the Lord's Day, of course. It's a beautiful day here where I am in Victoria, British Columbia. And I am just trying to get this game set up here to live react to it. Maybe it wants to work. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Who's to say? I don't know. I have no clue. See how slow it actually is? Nope. That doesn't sound great. There we go. All right. We are live in Victoria, British Columbia. I have a background. I have a background behind me. Look at that. Not too shabby. We are recording live from Victoria, BC at my apartment. Getting ready for the Utah Mammoth versus Vegas Golden Knights game one coming up later on in the show. I hope you're watching along with me. I'm excited for what this game should be. The Buffalo Sabres right now are beating the Boston Bruins. Or Boston Bruins are beating the Buffalo Sabres, excuse me. I had roles reversed. It's again 7:04 Pacific. No idea when Utah and Vegas is actually going to start, if it's going to start at any point. I love just looking at the NHL app, and they're not even saying that they're warming up. It's just that it's puck drop is 7 p.m. It's hasn't started yet with the stream I'm using. So I guess I could have just streamed the end of Bruins Sabres, and that would have been good enough. But I don't know. We'll see. It's 2-0 Bruins. Sabres got 31 shots on goal. Bruins have 17. Bruins have pretty much just been playing lockdown hockey since they scored. Oh, now it's 2-1 Tage Thompson with a goal. Big Tager. I was going to say that the Bruins have just been playing lockdown hockey, and instead they give up a late goal here. 8 minutes left in the game. Anything's possible. Anything can happen. Looks like guys are still in the tunnel here, so I'm just going to take this moment to promote the plug stuff on social media. If you want to chat, please subscribe to the channel. Any support is greatly appreciated. At some point, I think I'm going to do like a big subscriber push of if I can get 500 subscribers on YouTube, which would be insane. If I get 500 subscribers, I think I'm going to do a 7-hour live stream or something. Each subscriber is a minute worth of live streaming. I think that's fair. Let me just plug this. Okay. Boom. There's that. Now I'm just going to go back over to the YouTube. I'm multitasking here. Getting set for all the stuff. I even took some notes for this game, so I'm like somewhat prepared, kind of maybe, doing a little bit of a game report. Who's to say? Will anybody be interested? I don't know. I will admit my stream is not that great for watching the game. I can be honest with that. That is not great. That's not great either. Ah, well. This is coming along now. See, if I think I have it tough, and I'm just some streamer, I'm just live streaming the game, I'm just watching along. I don't really have anything cool to contribute. I wonder how the broadcasters are. I wonder what they have to go through. How much time do they have to? How much dead air do they have to fill? Like honestly, if I think I have it bad, I don't know that's true. Compared to some of the other people, some people who get paid for a living to do this, I think I'm doing just fine. Almost getting the plugs down. Nope. I'm having to listen to the stream, and I'm trying not to listen to that stream. I don't think it's really working, unfortunately. Okay, so that we'll change that. All right, I'm gonna work on the stream a little bit here because the stream was terrible early on, and this is not that great of content. If you're just joining us again, my name's Ian McNaughton. Welcome to the stream. We're just getting ready for Vegas and Utah. It's game one of their Western Conference first round matchup. The last I saw, the Sabres scored to make it 2-1. We don't have that on stream. I just have Vegas and Utah getting set here. For when it starts, and hopefully it starts at some point, but who's to say? I don't know when it's actually going to kick off here. That should help. Yeah, all right. Trying to figure out how to get this. This is really great content, by the way. It's really, really great stuff. Okay, so we're getting ready here. Getting closer to Utah and Vegas. Hold on. Oh, okay. Awesome. Okay, so for those who are wondering, now it's just me killing time, uh, getting Sportsnet Plus. Now I'm officially streaming. There we go. All right. So now that I'm officially set, now that I gave Sportsnet my money, we can finally watch the game. Utah and Vegas. Game 1. Finally starting. If you are just joining us now, my name is Ian McNaughton, Big E. Thank you for tuning in. This is SYP Live. I'm recording from Victoria, BC. You can follow us on Instagram at SYP Pod. You can follow our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Any support is greatly appreciated. I'm assuming Utah and Vegas hasn't started just yet. I'm assuming we're still waiting on the end of Buffalo and Boston, which is now 2-2 because Tage Thompson got another goal. That's pretty sick. If you're a Bruins fan, or if you're a Buffalo fan, I'm going to get Boston and Buffalo mixed up so many times in this series just because of all the Bs. Genuinely. Right now, I'm working on a 2-drink combo. I have my Stella Artois that I'm drinking, as well as water. I don't have a fun, I guess, drink, but I did have a Dr. Pepper earlier today, so I guess that's my fun drink. I really should just be going back to Boston and Buffalo and waiting to see how this plays out. And Buffalo scored. Oh, my God. I just turned it, and then Buffalo scored a third goal. Holy shit. No way. Unfreaking believable. Holy shit, Buffalo. It was 2-0, and now all of a sudden it's 3-2. 3:24 left in the third period for the Sabres. Unfreaking believable. Look at all those dudes tarpless. I think they just knocked down a barricade. Swayman had no idea where that puck was. Wow. That's hardcore, man. That is very hardcore. I will say, I just paid my money to Sportsnet so I could watch on the legal feed. And I'll tell you what, compared to the other site that I was using that was not terribly legal, this is not much better. Although at least I got multi-view here. I'm now watching both games. I have the end of Boston Buffalo, start of Winnipeg or Vegas Utah, not Winnipeg. I'll see if the Bruins can now actually. The Bruins who have been defending for so long in this game are now having to be on the offensive. Buffalo is trying to hold on. Puck out of the zone now, back into the neutral zone for Boston. McAvoy passes up. I know I said this is going to be a Vegas Utah, and I'm still waiting for this game to start. We're 30 minutes behind here for Vegas Utah. I should have known this was happening. Maybe I'll know this on the next time I do this. See if the Bruins get something. I don't know. I guess Buffalo was like the favorite. They were the better team in the regular season, but this feels like Buffalo almost stealing one here if they can hold on. Less than 2 minutes to go, about 90 seconds here on my end. They're just doing the anthems in Vegas. Yeah, I feel like I'm supporting both teams, Utah and Vegas, because I have a beer and water. I should have got like a dirty soda to really, support the both sides. And there is your empty netter for the Buffalo Sabres. They've won their first game since returning to the playoffs. First playoff win for the Sabres since like 2011. Nobody is showing up to work tomorrow in Buffalo. That's nuts. Well done, Buffalo. I wonder what the TV ratings for that's going to be, because I'm sure like a bunch of people in Buffalo are tuning in for that. I think Buffalo's a really good, at least, football TV market. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know about hockey. It looks like everybody's stoked about the Sabres so far. So, just to confirm, Buffalo with the empty netter. It's 4-2. They're singing the Star Spangled Banner in Las Vegas, Nevada. Utah is getting ready to play Vegas, game 1 of the series. A couple storylines I have entering this game. My first big storyline, how will Utah start this game? If Utah can hold on for the first, let's say, 10 minutes and not be down, maybe even be up. If Utah can stay ahead ahead of schedule, on schedule, not be behind, not have to play to Vegas's, game, not have to play at Vegas's level. They can play their own way. I think Utah's got a shot. Last time these two teams played, March 19th, about a month ago, literally, and Vegas lost 4-0 at home to the Mammoth. So Utah can certainly, take it to Vegas. Although the playoff games are a much different story than the regular season games. My second storyline coming into this game, will the Torts magic continue? I mean, they've been incredible in the last 10 games. Does it work against Utah? They haven't played Utah with Torts. Who knows? It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. If the Torts run was just a bit of a fluke, maybe there's something actually going on here. Who knows? And then I'm curious, my third storyline coming into this game is how chippy the series will be. We think this is the next big rivalry. We think Vegas and Utah are new enemies. They hate each other. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition on the ice. We'll see how physical it is, how chippy it is. You see how excited the fans are in Vegas. Will that happen on the ice? Will we see that level of physicality, that level of chippiness on the ice? There's Mikhail Sergachev. He is back in the postseason, this time not wearing a Tampa Bay Lightning uniform, this time wearing a Utah Mammoth uniform. Puck is dropped, and we're underway from Vegas. They chip it in, send it around to Kirill Velmelka, who is starting for Utah tonight. Utah with white jersey, black pant combos. Vegas in their gold jersey, kind of, I think it's grayish pant combination. Yellow socks for Utah, yellow socks for Vegas, white socks for Utah. Couple hard ins already for Vegas. Utah having trouble controlling the puck in their own end. They've already sent it down for an icing. The guy to watch really for Utah has to be Clayton Keller. He led the team in assists and points this season. He had 62 assists. He had 88 points. Obviously, the guy to watch for Vegas is Eichel. Eichel's got 63 assists, 90 points. It should be a really good series from those two. You want your top guys in the playoffs to be your top guys, and I think Utah will certainly have their top guys ready. They need them almost more than Vegas, but we'll see how it turns out. Both teams have some solid D-cores. Utah went out and got Mackenzie Weegar at the deadline. Vegas got Rasmus Anderson, so a couple, notable former Flames playing in this series. Yeah, it's Marner, Eichel, and Stone. The heavyweights are already starting for Vegas. That's their top line. Vegas looks like they're on a defensive here now. Utah is working into the zone, doing a little bit of a cycle. A little physical here. Yeah, Vegas and Utah are getting a little bit of zone time in each other's ends. It's Hannafin and Anderson, two former Flames, on the back end for Vegas. That puck will not go down for icing. Utah will pick that up. Utah with the first shot of the game. This game being broadcasted by Sportsnet, unlike Boston and Buffalo, which was they just took the ESPN feed. This is a Sportsnet original production, and that shot goes wide for Utah. Goes wide of Hart. Vegas back the other way. Vegas trying to get a little bit of zone pressure here. We're back to the Stone Eichel Marner line. Marner throws a little bit of a body check. You got a great clips ad on the side. I probably need to get my hair cut sometime either tomorrow or next week. Good defensive play by Eichel off the boards to Marner, or off the boards to Stone. Utah now trying to get out of their own end. I wonder if I could just do this. So slow on my desktop. Let's see if I can pull it up on the phone here instead. Because Vegas and Utah, it's kind of just been a back and forth. Dump in, get it out, dump it in, get it out, kind of series or kind of game, I guess. Nope. See if I can work it on my phone. Yeah, this is going really good. Really good content so far. Glad this is working out so well for me. Well, at least for testing. I know my Chromebook is kind of shit. Needs to be improved, anyways. Just show me the hockey, Sportsnet. Just show me the hockey. Show me the hockey. Come on. There we go. Now I think we're finally getting there. Shots are 3-1 Utah over Vegas here. We're 13:55 left and decent chance there for Vegas that goes wide. Utah on a defensive a little bit. Vegas with a little bit of offensive zone pressure as they cycle it back to the point. Shot on. Looks like it was blocked by Mamelka. Puck picked up by Utah, and they still can't clear it out. Here's Marner to Eichel, who can't get a shot off. Utah picked that off, and they're going to go the other way. Vegas picks up the puck as it was turned over in the neutral zone. Vegas with a little bit of momentum. Stone. That's a 90.5-mile-an-hour flap shot that went wide. Picked up by Utah in their own zone. They're going to try and clear it out. Yeah, Utah just seems to be, doing uncontrolled breakouts. Like they're just setting it off the boards and hoping to get it in the neutral zone, hoping that the guys are there. Like they're not carrying this puck out. Utah is just going to send it off and hope they get on the other side. Here goes Vegas back the other way, and that is stopped by Mamelka. Now we get a little bit of chippiness. There's Brett Howden. Ooh, I think he threw another shot. They're not going to call anything. JJ Paterka. There's Stone looking up. Crossing the blue line. Big slapper. He hit the crossbar. That was off the crossbar for Mark Stone. So we're going to our first TV timeout. Sports are promoting and getting A&W to promote the Matzo Burger, which is a fine burger, I guess. I don't really care. But yeah, I mean, so far it just seems early on like Utah is, they're shooting the puck out. They're not carrying it out. They're not controlling it out. They are basically just shooting a puck off the glass, hope their guys get into neutral zone. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but it seems like Vegas is controlling the, which I'm curious to see if, how that continues, if that lasts, all that stuff. Which, I mean, so far so good for Vegas. They I think they're outnumbered in shots, but they're staying close. They're holding on. Although that was a insane try by Stone to just cross the blue line, take a slapper, and almost went in. Now we're back to the action. Talk about how John Tortorella is a late coaching change, 7-0-1 since coaching change are the Vegas Golden Knights. They've outscored their opponents 33-15. I like to know what he knows that I don't. Like, he's got the face of someone who knows something, and I just want to know what that is. I'd love to know what that is. Shots early on are 3-1 for Utah here. It's 12:46 in the first period. Face off to the right of Amelka. Vegas going with their top line once again. That's Eichel, Stone, and Marner. They're going with the heavyweights. Oh, Stone picks up the scrambling puck, takes a shot, saved by Mamelka. Kind of got it through a defender, and I think that's Nate Schmidt. He kind of picked it through and picked his pocket a little bit to get the shot on. Mamelka had 63 starts this season. Second in the league in wins with 38. That's pretty cool. Vegas loses the draw. Utah gets it out, and it's going to go for an icing. Yeah, Utah is playing from behind a little bit here. This is kind of what I was worried about. Again, they're it's not like they're giving up a goal. It's still 0-0, but it's 12:36. But we're still jabbing. We're still trying to figure out our opponent. But so far, Utah in the last little bit here has not done a great job of trying to just get the puck out, having possession. Utah is just shooting the puck up and hoping somebody gets there. Vegas wins the face-off. Puck down low. Eichel looking for somebody or something, and he's just going to tuck it into Vejmelka, and Vejmelka holds on. So at least with this top line, Utah does not have much going. They don't have a ton of let's say strategy or game plan. Not a lot so far when Vegas goes with the big guns. That could be the difference in this series. Face off now to the left of Vejmelka. And that's a false draw, a false start. We'll do it all over again. Shots are now 3-3. 12:26 here in the first period. Vegas wins the draw. Schmidt finally gets the puck. He shoots it out. And this one is not going to go for icing. Brandon Tanev's going to get the puck. Now, there's a guy you haven't heard about in a while, huh? Brandon Tanev. Vegas back the other way. Marner passes it over, and no dice. Missed opportunity there for Stone. Mitch Marner not shooting the puck, passing instead. Where have we seen this before? What a shocker. Shot on. That went wide or saved by Vejmelka. Vegas now continuing the offensive pressure. Puck holds. Eichel back up, and that shot's wide. Vegas, again, a little bit of pressure. Not a lot of great chances. Marner had a great opportunity to shoot, and he still just let me saucer this. And it's just like, buddy, just take the shot. Just take the shot, dude. All right. Utah chips it out again this time. Hurdle can't get it. Schmidt gets it out. Back in the neutral zone. Utah trying to make a push. Can't really do so. Now here's Vegas. I think it's McNabb. He turns back around. He loses the puck. Going the other way to Dylan Gunther. He throws it up, and nobody's there to get it. Utah still with possession. Shot on, and that's going to hit a body and go out of play. Durzi with a shot that got deflected up, and 10:38, so we're not going to get to the TV timeout yet. But here's Marner streaking down the wing. He got an opportunity to shoot, and he just passes. Like there's Rasmus Anderson coming up, and Anderson can't finish. Just take the shot, buddy. Just take the shot. You can take the shot. You're not going to hurt anybody. Yeah. Face off now to the left of Hart. Shots are still 3-3. Brandon Tanev playing in his 60th career playoff game. That's the most among all Mammoth forwards, which is kind of impressive. Face-off won by Vegas. Circle behind the net, and they are going to get it out of their own zone. Battle for it in the neutral zone. Now they'll send it into the Utah zone. Utah will send it down again for another icing. This time, more of a miscommunication than a just chipping it off the glass and hoping somebody get it. There was a play to be made there, but unfortunate. Big hit there by Barbashev on Ian Cole, who deserves it, frankly. Ian Cole deserves all the terrible things that should happen to him. Face-off won by Vegas, although it looks like maybe Dylan Gunther is not Gunther. I thought it was 11, but it's actually 77, so that's JJ Paterka. He's down and looks a bit sore. That's a huge loss for Utah. If there's no Paterka, that's a huge guy that they're missing out on. And he just took a high stick from Dorofeyev. Oh, yeah, that's not great. He's probably not feeling great after that one. Game 2 of this series, by the way, April 21st. That's 2 days from now. That's Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. And then next game after that, April 24th, the first game in Utah in Salt Lake City. That's going to be on Friday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So game 3 in Salt Lake City, Friday. Shot on. Saved by Vamelka. Looks like he saw that all the way. It was Rasmus Anderson taking an 89.1 mile an hour slap shot from the blue line. Although it did not look like there was really anybody in front, kind of almost a seeing eye shot. No dice there for Vegas. Shot on again. That one went wide. Rasmus Anderson's like me when I played Shellin. Like, he'll take a slap shot and doesn't mind. I know it's not the most effective shot, but I like doing it just for shits and gigs. Utah now with the possession in Vegas' zone, trying to make some magic happen. High hit there from Logan Cooley. And Vegas is going to get it out. But Utah will send it back into Hart, and everybody will go for a line change. No penalties so far. We're under 10 minutes, so next stoppage presumably will be the TV timeout. Marner flips it back in. Vegas trying to get a little bit of possession, but nothing really coming about here for the Golden Knights. Utah now with possession in their own zone. As they break out, that's Nick Schmaltz coming in. Shot saved by Hart. And Vegas will clear it out of their zone. Well, they lost it to Utah. Utah will pick it up, and they're trying to get down and into the Vegas zone. They will. Shots are 5-5 here at the 8:20 mark of the first period. Shout out Budweiser for still advertising. Make time for playoffs. That's what I'm doing. I don't need Budweiser to do it. Not that I necessarily need a Stella sponsorship, but I'm not drinking Bud. And here's a bit of a post whistle scrum. Somebody thrown down to the ice. I think it's Brandon Tanev who's thrown down by Noah Hannafin. Or Jeremy Lauzon, excuse me. Getting a little chippy out there now. Jeremy Lauzon, by the way, who led the Knights in penalty minutes during the regular season. He had 89. He had one more than Mackenzie Weegar. And there's Jack McBain and looks like McBain and Caden Korsak going head to head. Lauzon had 89. Weegar had 88. I think McBain was pretty close. If Uyghur wasn't on Utah, if he was still in Calgary, I think McBain would have wound up being the penalty minutes leader for Utah. Both guys will head to the box. Tanev and Lozon each get 2 minutes for roughing. So I think we might be down to 4-on-4 hockey. So we're in another TV timeout. Great stuff. No, I will not be getting City TV at Sportsnet. Or at Rogers, I guess. First penalties of the game. Shots are 6-5 Utah over Vegas. Vegas has won 8 of the 11 faceoffs so far. Hits are about equal, 9-8 Vegas over Utah. Utah with 4 blocked shots. They also have 5 giveaways. It's going to be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes here. Yeah. It's funny that it wasn't really originally in the play. It was Gorzak and McBain, and then all of a sudden it's Lozon and Tanev who are getting penalties. Interesting. All right, welcome back. It is first period action, Utah Vegas. Still 0-0. 4-on-4 here. Might open up for Utah as they want to face up. Shot on net, no good. Vegas now with a chance to get the puck out. See, the nice thing about 4-on-4 is, presumably, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. The nice thing about 4-on-4 is that it should help with teams trying breaking out with a controlled breakout, like carrying the puck out of your zone. Marner, I think that's Hannafin. That's saved by Vilmelka. Yeah, because, I mean, if you're going to keep shooting the puck off the glass, it's really tough to live by that, although I guess some teams do. Schmidt can't find anybody. Cooley looks for Sergachev, couldn't find Sergachev. And Utah's going to start over again. At least all this will be good podcast material. I'd think. I'd like to think. There's McNabb. And he's going to send it back to Shea Theodore. Vegas in no real apparent rush, it looks like. They'll take their sweet time with 4-on-4. Not a ton of urgency for Vegas. Both teams get their guys on. Line change. Sent back in. Goes around Utah's net. Misplay there. Oh, big hit. I don't know if that was Marner, but big hit there from Vegas. We're back to 5-on-5. I think of maybe with Barbashev. Barbashev's thrown a couple big hits in this game so far. Barbashev's having a huge impact. Now the breakout's on for Vegas. Nothing there. That's not going to go all the way down. Utah carries it through Vegas' zone. That shot saved by Hart. Puck on net. Nothing there for Utah. They're going to keep pressuring. Big hit there. And now it's going back up for Vegas. Throws it in front. Nothing really there. Utah takes it over. And they'll chip it in. And we're going to go, maybe not a full line change as some guys have some conversations. Alex Kerfoot appears to be in the middle of that. Breakout for Vegas. They send it through. Puck tip. Sent in to Vejmelka. Vejmelka passes behind his net. Utah with a breakout of their own. Looks like Logan Cooley going to go down into the corner. Huge shit there. Might be Tanev. There's Sean Dursey stepping up trying to make a play here. Guys are... It's getting physical now. Vejmelka with a stop, and he tries to send it forward. And here they go. Nothing there for Utah. Can't get anything in Vegas zone. Vegas takes the puck away. Send it, looking for options. Can't really send it in. Nifty play there. Here comes Utah. Back the other way. Nothing, not a great scoring opportunity there, but Vegas now will take it back, and they're going to cut through the neutral zone. And they're going to call offside as now we have a few. Oh, huge shots being thrown here. Trying to tell who that is down on the ice for Vegas. Kyler Yamamoto getting in on the action. He's Rasmus Anderson not pleased. Sean Dursey with a helmet off. Yeah, there's a cut on the lip. Yeah, there's the physicality we were wondering if it's going to come, and we're going to have another break. Huge hit there from Barbashev. Big hit from Keegan Kolazar on... Yeah, great stuff. And Lozon on Tanev. That's going to be a matchup to watch, it looks like, this series. Oh, man. There you go. There's the physicality we were all looking for, hoping would show up eventually. We're going to our third commercial break of the period. How about that? Anyways, it is, again, 0-0, no score. Vegas, Utah, first round action, game 1 in Sin City. They play again Tuesday in Vegas for game 2, game 3 in Salt Lake City on Friday. So far, the Matzo Burger seems to be getting a lot of airtime. HGTV seems to be getting a lot of airtime. Those seem to be the popular ads, at least in Canada. Don't know if I will go and try a Matzo Burger. Probably not. It probably tastes like it has for forever. The penalties on the play after that little skirmish at the end. Rasmus Anderson Gets a 2-minute minor, and Sean Dursey's getting a 2-minute minor. So it looks like we're going to have a little bit of 4-on-4 once again. .328 left in the first. Vegas throwing the hits recently. It's now 13-8. Jumped up there for the Golden Knights. Lazan and Tanev seems to be the matchup to watch so far. They had the 2 penalties earlier in this game. They were getting into it during their skirmish. Looks like Stone's having a conversation with the officials. So here's the end of the play. Anderson and Dursey kind of, there's Dursey not controlling his stick. He catches Riley Smith, and Riley Smith goes down. And there's Dursey trying to headbutt Anderson. And Howden gets a 2 minutes for roughing. So it's going to be a 5-on-4. It's going to be a Utah power play. I don't know where in the midst of that Howden got a 2 minutes for roughing. I'm going to try. I guess he grabbed Dursey. I guess he's the third man in. But it's not a fight. I don't know about that. Okay. All right. So Torts is now going to argue with the officials. So we're apparently going on a Utah power play here. I don't know how we got there because Howden didn't really do anything except grab the guy. Dursey should get a high sticking on Riley Smith because Riley Smith's got a cut on his upper lip. That's plain and obvious. Anderson's going to the box. Dursey's going to the box. Howden's going to the box. 5-on-4 power play. I think coming up for Utah is what we're saying. Okay. Torts is not happy with it, and I don't blame him. I don't think you can be all that thrilled, to be perfectly honest. Anderson, I guess, pointing to Dursey in the box. I don't really know what he's saying. Anyways, power play coming up for Utah. So far, we have 5 penalties in this game, all for roughing. Shot from the point saved by Hart. That was Dylan Gunther with the shot, former Edmonton Oil King. Vegas had the 6th ranked penalty kill in the league during the regular season. Utah had the 18th ranked power play during the regular season. So a little bit of tale of two tapes there, you could say. Each going in their own way. Utah's power play really not doing a whole lot in their first couple of chances here. So they're going to set up in their own zone. Turnover in the neutral zone. Vegas will take that and send it back. Vejmelka will pick that up behind his own net as they start over. Carson. That's Sergachev. Nothing really there. The other way, a bit of an odd man rush for Vegas, and that shot is saved by Vejmelka. Vegas' PK of Mark Stone and Keegan Kolazar, Noah Hannafin. Colton Sisson's getting a bit of love on the PK too. As Utah is really doing nothing with this power play. 53 seconds left. Sergachev will pick it up in his own zone, and he is going to hold it for a sec as everybody gets set. Utah with no power play goals against Vegas this season. Schmaltz down low. Gets it back at the top of the point. Schmaltz over. That's saved. Trying to find somebody here. Peterka not really doing anything. He coughs up a turnover, and Vegas clears that out of the way. That's Colton Sissons. He gets his hand up high on a Utah player. And Utah will be shut out on their first power play. They are 0 for 1. Lawson Krause down. He's back up. Just 2 shots on goal for Utah in that last power play. Utah breaking it out with a little bit of momentum here. They can't get anything going. Vegas back the other way. Running into a bunch of Mammoth defenders. That's a weird shot, and that's going to be turned aside by Vamelka. That's Mitch Marner with a weird shot on net, and that's going to be shot and held on by Ivan Barbashev. 45.5 seconds left in the first period. Both teams probably just looking to get to the intermission. Not a ton of great looks there for Utah on that power play. Credit to Vegas. They held on tremendously. Shots of 9-8 Utah here. Again, 45.5 seconds left, and there's a false start on the faceoff. We'll do it again. Hurdle taking the faceoff against Yamamoto. And that shot from the point saved by Vamelka. That's Rasmus Andersson again taking another point shot. This time 3 seconds taken off the clock, and we have 42.5 seconds left in the first. Kind of same shot as you saw earlier. Rasmus Andersson with a bit of a gap. It's a C9 shot. There's nobody really in front. There's just a hole, and Andersson's just shooting the puck through it. Gets right to Vamelka. Vamelka with a huge stop. Vamelka making his playoff debut tonight. Puck in the corner. Tied up. Taken by Vegas. Still held in by Vegas. A few shots there by the Golden Knights, and that's going to be either blocked or tipped to the side, and that shot from the point is going to go wide by Andersson. And Utah with a 2-on-2 rush here. Logan Cooley trying to find a man. He's going to get wrapped up by a defender. Utah pushing, shot, huge, scores! Huge goal. Logan Cooley. With 9.5 seconds left, Logan Cooley gets the first goal in Utah Mammoth playoff history. Good for Logan. Stayed to his side of the ice. He held on to make a play. The puck eventually gets back to him. Little bit of busted coverage there. Great goal. Hannafin doesn't close the gap enough. And a cross-ice pass to Logan Cooley. He fires it home. It's 1-0 Mammoth. I just mentioned a little bit ago about how I'm sure both teams are trying to get just into the intermission and figure some stuff out. Utah has to be thrilled to get a late goal with 10 seconds left. And Utah will have the last shot of the period as the Mammoths lead 1-0 thanks to Logan Cooley. Exceptional goal by Logan. And it's 1-0 Utah in the Mammoths' first playoff game in franchise history. I don't know if they actually took the Coyote stats. I don't think they did. Maybe they did. I could be completely wrong. Logan Cooley from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, playing in his first playoff game, rips one past Carter Hart, and the Mammoth are up 1-0 going into the first intermission. You might remember Logan Cooley. I'm just doing a wiki search now. Logan Cooley scored a career high 4 goals and 5 points to lead the Mammoth in a 5-1 win over Vegas. Wow. My reaction so far to this period was I thought Vegas was the better team in the first half. Utah had the power play. I guess they got a little bit of momentum from that, but the power play didn't even look all that good, to be quite honest. And then Utah just got the goal, a little bit of a defensive breakdown, some good passing, a well done by Cooley to hold on, to keep the play alive, and then he gets the puck over. Eventually, the puck comes back to him. Makes no mistake, fires it home, 1-0. Utah, the Mammoth, I don't know that they're necessarily a better team. I think both teams had their ups and both teams had their downs in the period, but really, really strong start by the Mammoth. They maybe got outplayed a little bit in that period, but I mean the Mammoth, they got a 1-0 lead. That's all you could really ask for. They're not behind. They're not down 1-0, 2-0. They're ahead 1-0. That's kind of what I mentioned at the beginning when I was going through storylines of, how will Utah start? They're starting with a lead. They control the score after the first 20 minutes of play. Can't complain. So now we just got to get through an intermission here. I don't think I'm going to do my out-of-town scores yet. I think I'm going to save that for second intermission. I'll do a whole out-of-town score segment, which I'll just name baseball scores and go through the rest of the playoff scores and all that jazz. All that great and wonderful stuff. I also probably need to think about what I want to do for dinner tonight because I have not consumed dinner. I have some chicken breasts, or chicken thighs, I should say. I'll probably have that. That's probably going to be on my menu tonight. All right. Again, my name is Ian McNaughton. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. If you are enjoying this, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Any support is greatly appreciated. If you're not enjoying this, tell me what you don't like. Subscribe to the channel, then let us know below. Let me know. Let me know what you hate. Let me know what you love. Let me know what's in between. I don't know what this ad is that Sportsnet's showing. Conspiracies and cover-ups on Discovery. That's cool. That's fun. All right, we'll work on the out-of-town scores, and I'm going to announce them in the second intermission. See what the fine people at Sportsnet have to say. I'm not listening to this intermission because I don't think it's going to be worth listening to. Out of town scores. April 19th, 2026. Yeah, I mean, There's some baseball, some hockey. I don't really care about the WrestleMania stuff because I think AEW is better. And if you are interested in a big wrestling show, you should have watched Dynasty last week. That's my wrestling hot take for you. That was incredible. That was a great show. Kansas City. One of these days, when I'm big and famous and successful, well, some people would say I'm successful now, which I don't necessarily agree with. When I'm successful with this, I'll have a panel that I can throw to, and they will be informative and entertaining to hear, and good to hear from, fun to watch, fun to listen to. It's not always that with Sportsnet or some of the ESPN stuff. I'm tired of ESPN treating like every intermission panel or like anything that requires a certain level of like dialogue and debate. ESPN just turns into Fox News, and it just pisses me off. I'm not a fan. And I'm not even like a big like Biz Nasty guy, but I think the TNT stuff is better than the fucking ESPN stuff, just from a quality perspective. I don't feel my blood boil when I'm watching TNT. Yeah, and then after this, I'm going to do my baseball article. I'm going to finish that off. The Cardinals are playing the Astros today in an old NL Central game for those who care, for those who are interested. If you know, you know. People even do still out of town scores. Is that still a thing? I think what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna bring back either old radio tropes or like old broadcaster, like old like Sports Center type stuff. I think that's what I'm gonna do when I do these live streams or when I do these shows. I think that's the move. I think going forward. See, they're showing the stuff with Dersey and Anderson, and again, if I had volume, I could hear what they're saying, but I don't know that it's going to be, if they're going to tell me anything, I don't know what Kevin Bieksa has to share that he would know for sure. Nice win for the White Sox today. Not to spoil all the out-of-town scores. I probably should go get a snack or something during the break here, but I don't want to leave the screen. There's Slavkovsky's OT winner today against Tampa. That was a nice shot. Okay. Slavkovsky with the white Hockey Night in Canada towel. You'll love to see it. I picked Montreal to win, by the way, but I did it in 7 games. So I'm not saying I'm calling anything, but I guess I'm rooting for the Habs because I picked them. I think like this postseason with no Red Wings, I'm bandwagoning for Sabres and the Habs. That's I guess my bandwagon.net teams that I'm rooting for. But frankly, I just want good hockey. I love playoff hockey so much. I just want the good hockey. That's all that matters to me. What time is it? Sunday night game. So I guess the Sunday night game's over. I guess that makes sense. We're getting ready for the intermission. I hope you're grabbing a cold one. Hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Colorado 2, LA 1. Not spoiling anything. We've actually had a decent day of hockey. Like, I mean, we've had to put up with the LA Kings, but besides that, I didn't realize Buffalo and Boston ended 4-3. Yeah, they're just showing the highlights from it, and I see this empty net here for Tuck. Tucking it home. See if they show these guys knocking over the... No, they didn't show the guys knocking off the barricade. That would be funny. 4-3. When did Boston score that third goal? Pasternak on the power play with 8 seconds left. Shots were 38-20 in favor of Buffalo. Hits were 53-38 in favor of Buffalo. Damn. That's crazy. Getting freaking outshot and out hit by the Buffalo Sabres, and you're the Boston Bruins in the playoff. Not great. Not great, if I'm honest. So we're getting ready for the second period of play here, Utah and Vegas. Doing my scrolling. All good. Just waiting for this game to get back underway. Showing Bravo and the Food Network, which is making me jealous because I'm hungry. I didn't really have much dinner. But I'll get something after this. For those who are wondering about my background, so again, I have a 28 years later poster because I saw 28 years later in theater and they were getting out a poster, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'll get that. My Ken Griffey Jr. poster, I've had that since I was a kid. Ken Griffey rules. Love that poster. I have a Sonics hat. I have my old ball glove. I basically got that when I was a kid, but it still fits me now, so I'm never buying another ball glove. Knock on wood, hopefully. My book collection, a couple Webkins my mom left, a couple Canada flags, I guess. Kind of cool. I got a radio. Got a radio from Value Village. Kind of sick. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff on my set. In my background. Now they're showing the highlights of the other games today. Oop. That's not good. There we go. That's better. Yeah. Kings lost 2-1 today. You know, at least Buffalo was able to come back down 2 goals, unlike some teams who played today. Looking at you, LA. Is that it? They were just showing fucking Kings Avalanche highlights? I don't need to see that. I don't. It's not needed. There's a upset for the out of town scores in the second intermission. There's my pen. Again, still just waiting for this game to start. What other scores am I missing? Yeah, fuck it. I'll talk about the Premier League, I guess. Yeah. I guess I'll talk about Sunderland for some reason. I know everybody's talking about like Tottenham getting eliminated, or relegated, I should say, which it seems like they're going to. Shouldn't Everton have got relegated, or did they get relegated and then they're back up? Because I feel like that was a conversation at 1.2. Is that 4-1 for Nottingham Forest? Okay. I think we're getting close here to the second period. I'm just about finished my Stella, which is great. I've had my beer for the evening. I guess I could technically make it a mimosa night because I do have supplies, but I'm not going to. Getting ready for a second. Oh, Boosted Juice is the whatever bench sponsor for Vegas. That's kind of cool, or at least the visitor bench. Anything else really new and exciting? Not really, I guess, huh? All right, let's get set. Second period, Vegas, Utah, presented by I'll say Booster Juice. There's the ad there behind the bench. I'd love some Booster Juice. I haven't been to Booster Juice in years. I think I don't know if there's still one. No, the one in Squamish hasn't been there in forever. Or is it? No, because it's a freshie, I think. I think that's what it's called. Okay. Hopefully I'm up to date. Ready for second period of Game 1 between Utah Mammoth and the Vegas Golden Knights at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Ian McNaughton, SYP host, creator, founder, whatever you want to say. Thank you very much for joining. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please follow us on Instagram at SYP Pod. You can also check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Basically, wherever you get your podcasts, that's where the SYP Pod is. You can also take a look at some of my writing, which we will have a new baseball article out tomorrow. We're going to have some new content coming up in the next little bit, and a big announcement, I don't know, at some point here. Trying to decide how I want to announce it, but got a platform announcement coming up, and I look forward to that. So that's cool. Shots 11-9 for Utah. Again, it's 1-0 Mammoth. Logan Cooley with the only goal of the contest so far. He scored with 10 seconds remaining in the first period on a cross-ice pass from Nate Schmidt. The Mammoth, again, lead 1-0. There were 5 penalties in the first period, all 2-minute minors for roughing. And I am about, I'd say, 90% done this beer. Face off in Vegas' zone to Carter Hart's right. Won by the Golden Knights, and they are going to break out. Oh, the puck is picked up by Utah in their own zone. I would say both teams have played reasonably well. Utah they got the goal. They got the best opportunity, I'd say, the one-timer from Schmidt to Cooley. That's been the best opportunity so far, and as a result, it's the only goal of the game so far. Hits in this one as well. 14 for Utah, 20 for Vegas. Vegas a little bit more physical and kind of in the second half of that first period, excuse me. Utah with 7 block shots. Vegas with just 4 block shots. Utah went 0 for 1 on the power play. They've had the only power play of the game so far. Decent save off the wing there by Pamelka. Each team getting a couple of shots in early on. It was a pretty chippy, physical end of the first period. Otherwise, not a lot else outside of the couple skirmishes, the goal by Cooley. Otherwise, a kind of uneventful period, to be honest. The sun is setting in Victoria. I can see a little bit of daylight, though not a ton out my window here. Vegas shot saved by Pamelka. And whistle goes, and we will have a face-off. As it looks like, I don't know who the 26 is. Nick Dow. It looks like he just covered himself in water or sweat. Like you can tell in his jerseys that it's 2 different shades. Dylan Gunther getting a little too close to Carter Hart there. Ooh, there's a bad miss hit there from somebody. Now the face-off to the left of Pamelka. And Utah will take it and carry it out of the zone. I'm curious to see if Utah does more carrying the puck out of the zone for defensive breakouts, or if they decide to just keep shooting it. Again, they're ahead. I don't know if they want to play it conservative, aggressive, how aggressive they want to be. Vegas scores. I don't know who that was that put that home. Colton Sissons looks like it's getting the goal. They're saying unassisted as we are tied at 1. That is Colton Sissons' first of the postseason. It's now under review as the officials are discussing. Kind of a weird little play. Oh, it might be offside. Somebody might have got ahead there. And then shot on from McNabb, and Sissons just outworks Keller right to the net. And they're going to let the goal stand. They count it. It's Sissons officially from Smith and McNabb. And we are tied at 1 in the second period. Shots 14-11 in favor of Utah. Vegas back the other way. Eichel shot saved by Mamelka. Hit by Schmidt afterwards. I will say, like, that top pair of like Sergachev and Schmidt are going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting in this series against that top line. Should it still stand of Eichel, Marner, and Stone. But there you go, Colton Sissons. Go to the net and good things happen. Sissons just beat his man. And he just gets the puck on his stick and he puts it home. He makes no mistake. That's what you do when you go to the front of the net. You just keep your stick on the ice, keep battling, keep fighting, and just putting the puck in. That's a hell of a job right there by Colton Sissons, excuse me. Utah trying to get something back here. Puck in the neutral zone. Utah is going to send it in. There it goes. Can't really slow it down. And it's a goal. It's in. Hart didn't slow down the puck on the shoot around. And I don't know who just threw that puck on. I don't know if that's Ian Cole. It's Kevin Stanley. Somebody just shot that puck right at the net. Okay, so yeah, shot that puck. Shot that puck right at the net. It went very slow. Hart makes the save, but it goes off Caden Korsak. It went off his face and in. They're giving Stanley credit because Stanley just put the puck on net. Hart with a pad save, and it goes off Korzak's face or body into the net. Wacky goal. Now we got a bit of a shove, pushing and shoving after the whistle. That is a brutal goal to give up. So you see Dursey, he just shoots that puck around. They're going to go off for a change. Hart doesn't really slow it down. It's put on net by Stenlin. Korzak's just like, I don't know how that happened. And it's 2-1. It just bounced off Carter Hart, off Corden Cade Korsak into the net. And Stenlin, unassisted, he's put Vegas back in the lead about 80 seconds after Vegas scored their first goal. Crazy sequence of events. It's 2-1 now, Mammoth, as they're going to send the puck back in. Hart stops that one. Oh, big hit there. And now Vegas is trying to get it up, but it's going to be an icing call with 14:29 remaining in the second period. Huge goal. Unfortunate, unlucky bounce for Vegas. But Dursey just sends that in. Hart doesn't really slow that down. Stenlin just shoots it. It's kind of just slow trickling. Hart presumably kicks it away. He's just trying to get the puck away. And it goes off Korzak and in. Unlucky. Unfortunate. Vegas now pushing. Shot on. Doesn't get on net. Puck cleared, and Vegas will have to start over again. There's just no way to prepare or plan for something like that with the puck just bouncing off Korzak's, I think, face or body into the net. Like, there's just no way to prepare for that. Utah back in the lead. So Stenlin, it's officially from Sean Dursey and Ian Cole at 5:07 in the second period. Utah pushing once again, trying to make something happen here. Vegas having a tough time just getting the puck out of the zone. They finally do. Eichel getting pressured by Gunther, tries to make a play, doesn't really work. It's a turnover. Now it's back the other way for Utah. They got a few men up. Utah, puck on net wide. Back out to the point. It's sent back into the corner behind the net. And it's turned away, and Vegas will pick it up, and they will try and get it out. That's Braden McNabb. We'll send that puck up to Mark Stone. Stone's going to wrap that around. There's Marner. Marner's going to try and hold it in. He can't. Utah picks it up, and we go again. This puck is back into the neutral zone. As Vegas looks to set it up again. Puck sent in and just into the corner. Not a lot of pressure on it. Picked up again by the Knights. The Knights trying to get a cycle game going. Utah's defense is there for the taking. They are winning a position battle, it looks like so far. Turnover, though, by Utah. Another turnover there. Vegas with it. They took a shot on net and a big save by Vejmelka. Puck now out of the zone, and it's going to go back into the corner of Vegas' net. Vegas' zone, behind Vegas' net. Shot up, no icing. Vejmelka, he plays the puck behind his net. There's Nate Schmidt. He's going to pass it along. JJ Peterka. Little chip, not a ton. And that's going to be a turnover. Nate Schmidt's going to pick that one up. No icing. As Utah clears again. Poor turnover there by Utah. Nothing there for Vegas. They hold on to possession, though. Utah gets the puck out that time. Vegas is trying to get it back. And Vegas does get it back. Pass up. There's Hurdle. Hurdle, puck on net, blocked. Shot from the point and stopped by Vejmelka, and he's going to hold on. Theodore took a shot from the blue line, didn't get it where he really wanted it, and we're going to go into a TV timeout. 10:56 left in the second period. Utah up 2-1 over the Vegas Golden Knights. Will be taking no break. They'll be taking a break during the game, but we're not. We're here. We're going for it. Shots are 16-15 for Utah. Hits are 25-15 in favor of the Golden Knights. God, that's just an unfortunate bounce, isn't it, for Vegas? Trying to do the right thing and pay the price. How unfortunate. A lot of Law and Order, isn't there? I'm just watching these ads here. Law and Order Thursday, because Law and Order only happens on Thursday. That they're basing off that off real life. Andre Tournier's NHL playoff debut, the head coach of the Utah Mammoth. His last playoff game was the 2019 OHL final. Nice. 121st playoff game for John Tortorella. I can't remember. I don't think he got into any. Maybe he did. I don't think he got in any playoff games with Philly. Puck won by Utah. They get it out of the zone. Pressuring Vegas' forwards. Amelka plays the puck. He gives a weak pass behind his own net. There's Sergachev. There's Logan Cooley taking it up. Pass on. Puck on net. Goes through everybody. Not even close. Huge save there by Carter Hart. I think that might have hit the post. Couple chances there for Utah, but nothing there. Oh, man. And that is going to be an icing. Here's the top guys of Logan Cooley, Dylan Guenther. Huge save by Hart. That one went off the post, not really from a great angle. I don't think that ever had a shot of going in, but still goes off the post, kicks out. Still a 2-1 game here for the Mammoth. Face off to the left of Amelka, and they're going to do it over again. Shots are 19-15 for Utah. Eichel taking the draw. Loses to Schmaltz. And Mammoth will get that out. Mammoth seem to be controlling this second period. They seem to be doing a better job of creating opportunities. And I don't say that just because they're up. They just seem to have a better period. And that's going to be an icing on Utah once again. Yeah, Utah is struggling now again with the icing issue that they had in the first period, excuse me. I talked about how Utah kind of got into their own rhythm and it didn't really click. Now it's getting back to that. It seemed like they got out of that rut. Now they're still in that rut. It looks like they're falling back to that. But face off again to the right or left of Amelka. Eichel probably taking it with Schmaltz because it was an icing. Schmaltz wins that one. Off the wall, can't get it out. Anderson holds it in. Now they get it out. Enough time to get a change possibly for the Mammoth. Vegas getting some of their fresher guys in. Utah picks it up. And they'll clear. This has just been a back and forth, chip and chase kind of game. Waiting for somebody to make a move, and that's going to be offside, and I think we're going to get another TV timeout here. 2-1 Utah over Vegas in Sin City. I'm trying to time my TV timeout outros with the real TV timeout outros, but we're not going to TV timeout. We don't have sponsors. We don't have bills to pay. I mean, we do have bills to pay, but not on this show. We're not doing this because we have bills to pay. We're doing this for the love of the game. Again, my name's Ian McNaughton. Thank you for watching. If you're new, first time tuning in, thank you. You can follow us on Instagram at SYP Pod. Please subscribe to the channel. Any support, greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you want to chat. One of these days, I'm going to announce basically if I can get the 500 subscribers, I'll do a 6.9 because I want to do a subscriber for each minute, and I think we're I don't know, we have 87 subscribers, so 423. I think that's how that works. Basically, I'll do 423 minutes live. I think that's a move. That can be fun. 7 hours. I'm sure people will want to watch that. I'm sure people will give a shit. I don't know. This is just me killing air. Killing time, basically wasting air almost because we have a TV timeout for HGTV. Top of the block. Mondays at 7:30 on HGTV. I don't know. Bit of a House Hunters guy. That's my garbage television of choice. Let me know what yours is. I mean, showing a Torch doing an interview on April 1st. See, I think the Vegas should have just announced that on April 1st. That would have been funny. That would have been a hilarious, not actually April Fool's. That's a real bit. That would be like cruel though to like Bruce Cassidy of like you think it's just a bit, but it's not a bit. You're actually fired. That's probably why you can't do that. Is that Dominic Ducharme on the Vegas bench, the former Habs coach who led the Habs to the Stanley Cup Finals? That's kind of nuts. Marner still got the long hair. Face off in the neutral zone. Kerfoot kicked out. And new guy in for Vegas. Both guys getting kicked out. Face off won by Utah. Puck sent in. Picked up by the Golden Knights. They'll send it around and puck out of play, and they're going to say it was deflected, so no penalty. Nick Dowd needs to get a new jersey, man. Like, he's just covered in either sweat, Gatorade, Powerade, whatever they drink. He is just covered in a liquid, and it ruins the rest of the jersey. Like, it's not even like a gradient. He's just got two different shades. It just looks fucking wonky. I don't know. No penalties so far in the second period. Again, we've only had 5 penalties in the first period, all for roughing. Nothing here in the second. 8:50 to go. I guess all 5 penalties in the first period were all in the back half. So maybe we're gonna get a second period penalties. Turnover by Vegas. Utah, nothing there. Puck dribbles wide. Cleared out by Vegas. And Utah will pick it up in their own zone. This has really just been a chip and chase game. I thought this game would be a little bit more entertaining, but it really hasn't. Not a ton of great scoring opportunities, if I'm honest. And Hart covers up. They say Old Spice has the best smelling NHL. That's what one of the Dasher ads says, and I don't know if I agree with that. Can't say that I do. Shots of 19-15 in favor of Utah. Hits are still in favor of Vegas, 29-18. Vegas still winning the faceoff dot. They're winning at about a 60% rate. So that's pretty solid. Utah still has more block shots, 9-5. As the puck is going to be dropped to the right of Carter Hart. New guy in for Utah, Kyler Yamamoto. He loses the faceoff as Utah will have to play defense. Vegas does get the puck out of the zone. Ooh, not quite. Trying to do a little bit of a Hail Mary to Dylan Guenther, and it did not work. Stone, Eichel, and Marner back out there. I'm curious to see what the time on ice is. That's been the top forward group for Vegas. Stone, Eichel, and Marner. Vegas can't get the puck out of their zone. McNabb will send it around. Picked up by Utah. They don't get it out themselves. Vegas will take it back the other way. Stone. Shot. Saved by Vejmelka. Puck at the top. Eichel throws it on. Now puck goes wide. And Utah just barely gets it out. Vegas has to start over again. They're going to send it in. Pressure is now on for Utah. They are having to play a defensive game. They're holding their own. They are not letting Vegas get great opportunities, I will admit. A lot of these guys have been on for over a minute now for Utah. Vegas shots deflected wide. Rebound wide. Rasmus Anderson to the point. Was on nothing. Sergachev now. He's going to be reaching 2 minutes in this shift, and that puck is out in front, getting away, and officially out. So now puck is out. Sergachev maybe can go for a change. Hart goes out of the net to play his puck. Picked up by Utah. Brandon Tanev wraps it around. Nothing there. No rebound. Puck just gonna get out there, and I think that is gonna go for an ice. Nope, they're not gonna go for an icing. Play continues. Utah clears. Guy on the ice for Utah. There's a man down. Heavy check there. Shot on. Saved by Hart. Rebound control by Vegas. They will clear it. Neither team really having great opportunities. Just a lot of neutral zone play, a lot of chip and chase. Guys having trouble standing on their skates. Sent back in, no icing. Sent out again. Just back and forth, chip and chase. That puck is deflected right onto Vejmelka, but he holds on. He will let it go to the next guy. Vegas sends it back in. Ooh, bit of a strong hit there. Stone wraps it around. Anderson at the point. He passes it over. Nothing really going for Vegas. Shot deflected wide. Cycling it around. Hanifin blocked. Out in front. Deflected. Wraparound no good. At the top, wheeling around. I think that one was blocked. That might be a high stick on Stone, and they're going to call it. Utah tried to clear the puck, and Mark Stone batted it down with a high stick. Sergachev is going to head back out onto the ice with 4:11 in the third period, but we have another TV timeout. I think we do. Yeah, Theodore over to Stone, and Stone, yeah, we're getting a TV timeout. Stone with just a solid shot on, but Vejmelka with the save. Not really a ton there for Vegas to go off of. Still 2-1 Utah over Vegas. Shots 21-17. Okay. I think we're getting ready here. Watching a Price is Right at Night commercial featuring Howie Mandel. I guess that's a thing. If you are, again, tuning in, my name is Ian McNaughton. Thank you for joining us. This is SYP Live. We are doing Vegas, Utah, game 1 of their Western Conference first round matchup. The Utah Mammoth are up 2-1 over the Vegas Golden Knights. I am almost finished my Stellar Artois because I have a beer for Vegas and water for Utah. Although I probably should have just done a dirty soda. That could have been fun to really show my support for Utah. I think that was an icing. 4:04 left in the second period. Shots 21-17 in favor of the Mammoth. Hits are in favor of Utah. No, I lied. Vegas. 30-23. Utah is winning in blocked shots. Utah has 16 blocked shots. Vegas has just 6. Huge stop for Utah. And that puck will be sent in. Utah will have to set up again. They're going to carry the puck out of the zone. Not really organized. Timing a little off there. Back into the neutral zone. Sent in. Hart tries to come out and play. That's blocked. Vegas back the other way now. That looks like Eichel. He tries to throw it up, and he can't. He's going to send it back around. Barbashev's going to let that one go. A little bit of physicality in front of Vermelka. Eichel with a little bit of a move. He doesn't really find anybody in front. Puck sent back around again. Vegas just not getting any real great opportunities here. That puck leaves the zone, back in the neutral zone. Utah can't really send it back, and now they do, and they're going to go off for a change. Under 3 minutes to go here in the second period. I think Utah's been a better team in this period. They got a fluky goal to take the lead. The puck was off the pads of Hart onto the face or body of Korzak and goes in the net. It's 2-1 Mammoth. Vegas trying to get the puck out of their own zone again. Wrapped around, not out. Kerfoot sends it around. Back to the point. Gunther shot saved. And Hart will hold on for a faceoff. 2:16 left in the second period. Just a well done, I got to say, credit defensively to the Utah Mammoth. They are not letting Vegas get opportunities. Vegas has kind of been stymied in terms of finding elite shots. Utah, they haven't got a ton of great looks either, but, you know, with considering the talent that Vegas has on their team, it's almost a bit more of an impressive job by Utah. Vegas wins the face-off in their own zone. They clear it. No icing. We're coming up to the 2-minute warning, whatever you want to call it. I call it 2-minute warning, I guess. Here in the second, Vegas trying to get a late goal at the end of the period. Utah got a late goal at the end of the first. Logan Cooley scored with 10 seconds left in the first period. That was the game's opening goal. Sergachev can't get the puck around. Now goes to Rasmus Anderson. Anderson looking for a guy. He makes a pass. Puck back to the point for Vegas. Shot on. Held by Vermelka. Kind of a not really a threatening look necessarily for Vegas, but a shot on net nonetheless. We're seeing Barbashev, Eichel, and Stone together. No Mitch Marner maybe on that top line. Torts going with a different look. That's Riley Smith with the shot on net. Not really getting anything. Face-off in Utah zone won by the Mammoth. They clear into the neutral zone, and that is going to go for icing. 1:27 left. Another icing call. I'd love to see how many icings Utah has had tonight because I think it's probably too many for Andre Tournay's liking. He's the head coach of the Utah Mammoth. But 1:27 left here. Stone looks like he needs some smelling salts to get a little energy in him. Kerfoot's going to go and take this draw. Again, 16 block shots for Utah, 7 for Vegas. But a minute 30 left in the period. Utah coming in. Great effort by Logan Cooley. Can't get it. That was a great one-man performance, but he could not finish against Carter Hart. Puck sent in. Vamilka, he plays behind his own net. Into the corner. Utah clears, and no, this is not going to go for icing. They're calling it off. Vegas will pick it up behind their net. Hannafin or Anderson, he's going to send it down. Back into the Utah end, and they are going to call, I don't know if it's a hand pass or offside or what it's going to be, but it's going to be a face-off with 47.1 seconds left. Logan Cooley going in on Rasmus Anderson, and he just, dipsy doodles, but Hart is there. He gets to stick out in front. Doesn't really get the room he needs, Cooley, for that play. Close. There's Gunther getting hit by Mark Stone. Puck won by Vegas. Or Utah, excuse me. Utah won the puck. Won the faceoff. Nick Schmaltz shot. Saved by Hart. Schmaltz gets the puck back. He does actually lose it again, and Vegas will clear that out. Under 30 seconds remaining for the Mammoth and Golden Knights in Vegas. Puck in the neutral zone sent back in. Heavy hit there. Couple heavy hits from Vegas. Utah trying to make something happen. Here goes Schmaltz down the left wing. He doesn't have anything. Under 10 seconds remaining. Under 5 seconds. Shot on. Save. Puck is out of the zone, and that is going to be the second period. Utah leads 2-1 thanks to a weird goal by Kevin Stanley. He banks a shot off Carter Hart's pads, off Caden Korsak, and into the net. That came after Colton Sissons got Vegas' first goal of the postseason. It's 2-1 Mammoth. Mitch Marner's having a conversation with the referee. He doesn't seem to be too impressed. The Mammoth, for the second period in a row, have the lead in their first playoff game. What a crazy story so far. The Utah Mammoth have been in this game. That was some lady just bashing a beer can against her head, I guess. Anyways, after 2 periods of play, Utah 2, Vegas 1. Utah leads shots on goal 22-18. Vegas leads in hits 34-24. Utah leads in block shots 16-7. Faceoffs back down to 55% in favor of Vegas. They were up at 60% at one point, back down to 55%. Good, solid period for Utah. They look to be the better team so far. They are in control. According to our friends at MyPuck, let's see what they have to say on the matter. They say that like the Sabres have a 100% chance of winning. Yeah, because they won. I like that from MoneyPuck. The chances of the Utah Mammoth winning, according to MoneyPuck, are at 75% right now. Vegas has just a 24.32% chance of winning. They are down by 1 heading into the third period. We're watching a Moosehead ad on, or at least you are if you're watching on Sportsnet. You're not if you're watching me. I don't have ads from Moosehead. I'll run through my out of town scores for you. Let's do some Major League Baseball. San Francisco lost to Washington 3-0 today in, what do they call that field now? Is that National? It's not Nats. Not National Stadium. I don't know what they call that one in DC. The Pirates beat the Rays 6-3 today at PNC Park. The Yankees shut out the Royals 7-0. Cleveland beats the Baltimore Orioles 8-4. The Marlins go up 2 on Milwaukee. They won 5-3. The Astros, I can't tell if that's a 5 or a 7. I think it's a 5. The Astros lose the St. Louis Cardinals 7-5 and 10 today. The Reds beat the Twins 7-4 in Minneapolis. Chicago Cubs in extras beat the New York Mets, who are a dumpster fire. The Mets suck ass. They had to, go all the way to 10 innings to lose to the Chicago Cubs. The Rockies had a nice win over the Dodgers, 9-6. 6-9. White Sox beat the Athletics in Sacramento today, 7-4. Padres beat the Angels 2-1 in Anaheim. Mariners beat the Rangers 5-2. Blue Jays beat the Diamondbacks 10-4. Blue Jays had 8 runs in the first inning today against Arizona. Tigers beat the Red Sox at Fenway 6-2 today. And on Sunday Night Baseball, the Braves beat the Phillies 4-2. Your NHL playoff scores today. Colorado defeated the Kings 2-1. Montreal defeated Tampa Bay 4-3 in overtime thanks to Uri Slafkovsky scoring the game winner. And Buffalo came back down 2-0. They scored 4 goals in the third period to win 4-3 at the KeyBank Center in Buffalo today. Great story from the Sabres. Electric stuff from the crowd. NBA playoffs today. Game 1s featuring the Boston Celtics, who defeated the Philadelphia 76ers 123-91. The Oklahoma City Thunder won 119 to 84 against the Phoenix Suns today. And then an upset, huge upset. The number 1 seed Detroit Pistons lost at home to the Orlando Magic today, 112-101. Orlando needed the play-in win over Charlotte to get into the playoffs. They beat Charlotte Friday, went to Detroit on Sunday, beat the Pistons in their building. Huge win for the Magic. They have a 1-0 series lead. A little bit of Premier League action. Aston Villa defeated Sunderland today 4-3. Liverpool defeated Everton today 2-1. Nottingham Forest 4-1 win over Burnley. And Man City doubled up Arsenal, winning 2-1. Those are your out-of-town scores. I guess I could have talked about some of the Rugby 7 stuff that happened this weekend in Hong Kong. But I'm not. I didn't. Those have been your out-of-town scores. Presented by nobody. Not to do an Ernie Johnson bit, but nobody's sponsoring this. So this is just me doing my own thing. You're welcome, people. Don't say I didn't do nothing for you. Kevin Bieksa wearing a wine-colored suit today on the broadcast. I guess he's enjoying what he's doing. My thoughts really, I guess, from this period, I think Utah was a better team in that period. They maybe have been the better team in this game. They've been handling their own against Vegas. They've done a really good job of limiting Vegas's opportunities. Vegas really hasn't had, I don't think, great shooting opportunities. Like they really haven't. Like I'd be curious to see what the high danger chances are for Vegas. It doesn't feel like a ton. It doesn't feel like a lot. It maybe is in this game, but it doesn't overall. According to our friends at Money Puck, deserve to win meter. Utah wins about 74% of the time in this game. Expected goals, all situations, Utah 2.96, Vegas 1.62. So we're at about what we should be for this game. Huge nights from Dylan Gunther. He's been making plays all over the ice. Colton Sissons, I mean, he's got the only goal for Vegas, but Money Puck thinks he's been their best player so far. You really haven't seen a ton from Eichel, Marner, Stone. That's why they got separated. It's now Barbashev, Eichel, and Stone. We didn't really see the physicality as much in this period as we did in the first. Clayton Keller's, I feel like he's had a couple opportunities, but he's got no shots on goal in 13 minutes of play so far. Your time on ice leaders. Sergachev is 1539, Schmidt 1501, Uyghur 1434. Those are your defensemen. They each have a shot on goal. Logan Cooley's got a goal. He had the one in the first period. His time on ice is 1318. Keller's at 1304. Krause is at 1248. So, Utah's, they know who their guys are. Cooley, Yamamoto, and Gunther, that seems to be the line that's working so far. They have, in 7 minutes of play, on ice expected goals for of 1.2. Not nothing. Schmidt Marino has been the top pair, I guess, in terms of ice time. They played 30 seconds more than Sergachev and Uyghur. Your Vegas, and I mean, I will say these are all situations. Your Vegas time on ice leaders: Hannafin, McNabb, Theodore, even Eichel's got over 15 minutes of play. Marner's only got 12:08 in terms of time on ice. Marner's played less than Dylan Gunther, John Marino, Lawson Krause. But I mean, yeah, it's kind of how this game's been going. We've seen a lot of Stone, Eichel, Marner. I'm guessing we're going to see more of Barbashev, Eichel, and Stone. We'll see. We shall see. That's been my report. I mean, Utah's been the better team. I think they've done a really good job of limiting high danger chances for Vegas in this game. See if I can just find if they have high danger chances here on Money Puck. I'm not seeing it, but yeah, there's a lot more outside bubbles, a lot of small outside bubbles for Vegas compared to Utah. Just not really high danger. Let me check Natural Stat Trick. Maybe they'll have something. Natty Statty Trick. Why is Bet99 showing this ad of the Red Wings getting their ass kicked? Fuck that ad. I thought I saw it. Show me more. Where? Why are you doing this to me? High danger chances 4 in all situations is 5 for Vegas. Also 5 for Utah, which I'm a little surprised by. So but Vegas has apparently more scoring chances, 23 to Utah's 12. And this is, again, all situations. Anything really? Nothing really exceptional on Natural Stat Trick that would have me concerned. Heat map looks normal. Yeah, just go there. Yeah. Nothing really. It's been a really a chip and chase game. Nobody's really taken control of it. Nobody's really taking the bull by the horns. Gonna see what the schedule is for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's schedule, by the way: Flyers at Penguins at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern. Ottawa at Carolina at 4:30 p.m. Pacific. Wild at Stars at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, and we finally get Ducks Oilers at 7 p.m. Pacific, round 1, game 1. Can't wait. That's gonna rock. That should be sick. A lot of good stuff there. So we're waiting for period number 3. Just waiting. Any day now. Okay, we are still waiting for the third. There's Travis Green. Travis Green doing an interview. How about that? I wish I had some of this pre-recorded content that would fill airtime instead of just me filling airtime myself. I mean, I don't know what else to talk about. Sabres had a hell of a comeback. Habs won in overtime. Sick. Avs beat a Kings team that they should. Little bit less scoring than I thought there would be, but hey, what are you gonna do? Now we get an ad for Amazon, which is cool. Anything is possible with exploitation. That's the Amazon way. I'm now officially done my beer, so I think I might. Now I'm done my beer. So now I think I'm officially a Utah fan because I'm drinking sober beverages, 0 alcohol beverages for the rest of this. What is this ad for? Scalable Moneris. Yeah, I think everybody pretty much uses Moneris now. I feel like that's the go-to. What's this Michael Cera Blue Jays ad? Why is he? Is Michael Cera Canadian? Is that the deal with him? Is he a big Blue Jays fan? I didn't think he was a. No, Michael Cera is Canadian. He's from Brampton. I didn't think he was a big Blue Jays guy. honestly forgot he was Canadian. What do you know? Is this now we're getting ready for the third period? Yeah, good goal for Kevin Stanley. That feels like a goal. I mean, I wouldn't even have scored that Kevin Stanley goal because I don't even think I would have shot it well enough to hit the fucking Hearts pads and then have it go off somebody. Oh, this is a Harner Ryan Singh game. I wish I could turn the volume up for that. Harner Ryan Singh's doing play-by-play for Sportsnet. How about that? Good for him. Getting ready for the third period. Third period in Vegas. All right. We are about to drop the puck on period number 3. Thank you for watching. We are over 2 hours, 20 minutes into this live stream. My name is Ian McNaughton. This is SYP Live. We are watching game 1 of the Utah Mammoth and Vegas Golden Knights in round 1 of their Western Conference playoff series. Puck is out of play. 5 seconds in. That's great. This goes well with this promo or the sell promotion, the shameless plugs. If you like, please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to chat. Please follow us on Instagram at SYP Pod. You can also listen to the podcast, the Speak Your Piece podcast, on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. All are great options. We don't judge. I don't really care as long as you're supporting. Oh, do you like Spotify? Do you like Apple Music? I don't give a shit. Just listen to the podcast however you do so. I don't care. It's not my business. Who gives a shit? There's other things to be worried about. Shot saved by Bamelka. And I think that puck went out of play. 1934 left in the period. Cross ice shot stopped by Bamelka and Stone. Stone needed that extra half second to recoup the puck. Was able to do so. See if we can hold on to this lead. Another shot, save, puck out of play. Well done by Bamelka. He's done well this game too. He's made some big saves for the Golden Knights. Or for the Utah Mammoth, excuse me. Shot. Yeah, nope. McNabb can't get that on. Vegas can't put home a loose rebound, and now Utah will go back the other way. This puck is dumped back in. Mammoth recover it in a neutral zone. Don't really get it cleared hard enough, and that is not too many men. Weird change, but not too many men. There's Gunther. Not a lot happening there for Utah. Puck deflected and held on by Bamelka. 18-18 left in the third. Couple big stops there from Amelka. He is keeping his team in it. I think my other thing with Marner is with Vegas is that I'm not necessarily worried about games 1 through 4, even though I don't think he's been on the board tonight. But with Marner, it's just the fucking like clutchness. Like, can he be clutch? And that's kind of what you're hoping for with him not wearing a Maple Leafs jersey, that he could just be clutch in somebody else's jersey. Like, you're hoping your team is what unlocks him. Well, if you're Vegas, you got to be pissed that if that's the Stanley goal is potentially the game winning, that's a tough pill to swallow. Vegas is back ahead in shots, 23-22. Utah chips it in. Brandon Tanev going after it against Rasmus Anderson. Tanev's helmet comes off. Peterka back to the point. Tanev has to go and get a new helmet or sub off. That puck goes wide. Chipped on. Nothing there. Oh, boy. Peterka back down low. The point. Back over to Marino. Chopped in by Stenlund. It's going to go around. Back to the point. On the half wall. And Vegas too hard, or Utah too hard with it out of the zone. Oh, that's a tripping penalty, I think, right there. Ref's arm is raised. Vegas holding on to it. Still got it. Nope. And that is Utah touching up. Vegas is going to go to their first power play of the game. Alexander Kerfoot is going to go to the box for tripping. A kind of an obvious trip, about 170 feet away from his own net. You see Anderson, he goes to place the puck. Huge hit from Tanev. Tanev loses his helmet. He has to go off. He can't play without a helmet. Just a shot from the side there. Nothing there for Utah. And then as Eichel is trying to clear the zone with Barbashev just takes a trip. Kind of needless penalty, unfortunately, but it's a penalty. It's Kerfoot taking in the offensive zone, and now Vegas will get a chance to go on to power play. Shot wide. Eichel on the half wall. Over to Marner, who shoots in that shot wide. Kicking around. Back to the point. Marner. Too high. Vegas trying to get something on this power play here. Eichel back to Marner. Marner looking for an option. He gives it back to Eichel. Eichel on the half wall. Throws it over to Marner. Marner at the top. Saved by Pavelka. Picked up by Eichel. Eichel doesn't really do anything with it. Utah gets it, and they clear. Right to Hart, who Hart sends it back, but taken back by Stanley. He sends it back in. Vegas trying to find some magic on their power play. Eichel on the left side. Back to Marner, who's at the point. He fumbles the puck. Makes a pass in. Shot. Went wide. Vegas without a power play goal against Utah this season. They went 0 for 8 during the regular season. Stone. Pass. Shot. There's Stone on the power play and they score. Mark Stone ties it. And it's a 2-2 game at T-Mobile Arena. What a goal for Mark Stone. Stone was in front of the net. He moved over. He dragged Schmidt out his way. Hurdle finds the loose space. Doesn't get the puck immediately, but Stone does. He picks up the open space, picks up the open puck, buries it. Pretty much a wide open net. And Mark Stone has tied this game. It is 2-2 on the power play. What a goal. Oh. The Vegas crowd is back into it. Vegas leading in shots, 25-23. We'll see what happens. Getting a little bit chippy out there now. Gunther on the right side. Shot saved by Hart. Kicked out, and Vegas will take it. Except they won't. Utah sends it back in. Big hits being thrown now. And that puck is going to go down. No icing. Here goes Utah. Utah tries to find something. Trying to get a little bit of space, and they can't. Back to the point. Shot. That went wide. Out of play. Sergachev with a 92.5-mile-an-hour slap shot. Mark Stone with the tying goal. We're heading to a TV timeout. It's 13:08 left in the third period. The Vegas Golden Knights are back in it in their barn. Shots are 24-24, according to the NHL. It's Stone, a power play goal assisted from Hurdle and Marner, 5:33 into the third period off a curve foot 2-minute penalty for hooking. He tripped him, but yeah, whatever. Bless me. Infraction, anyway. There was a stick infraction. Hits so far. Vegas 42, Utah 21. Vegas is twice as many hits as the Mammoth. Block shots in favor of Utah 19-10. Utah did not convert on their penalty early in the game, on their power play earlier in the game. Vegas converted on theirs. That could be the difference. What a third period we have coming down the wire. Coming down the stretch. All right, let's get back into this here. Showing old Pietrangelo highlights because I guess, man, guy who hasn't played on this team, just taking a bunch of shit from Kasperi Kapanen. Yeah, man, whatever you say. Damn, I wish I had another beer. I guess I'll drink my water. God, it's nice to live in a place where you can actually drink the water. It's a shot at no one in particular, of course. All right, 13:01. Face off in Vegas' zone. We're going to have to redo it again. Nick Schmaltz on the draw. Doesn't win it. Vegas will get the puck. Try to carry it out of the zone. They can't. Now they finally do. Turnover in their own zone. Mammoth give it up to Vegas. Shot from the point, deflected, scores! Huge goal. I think that one was by Cole Smith. Nick Dowd, pardon me. Nick Dowd, the guy who I've been raking on or whatever about his jersey, just a terrible pass, terrible turnover. Dowd gets a little bit of space and just enough to get to that flexion, coasting right through. Yeah, right through the slot. Nick Dowd, the flexed. What a spot. What a feed by Hannafin. Dowd just couldn't have timed it any better if you were Hannafin and Dowd. And now Vegas has their first lead of the game. It's 3-2. Vegas scoring 7:21 now into the third period. Almost 2 minutes after their first goal this period from a Mark Stone power play. Mark Stone on the power play to Nick Dowd. Dylan Gunther with a shot, and that is no good, and that puck is out of play. Wow. How things have turned. Hannafin could not have spotted Dowd any better if he tried. Perfect timing, perfect deflection. Vimelka's just a little late on that. And it's 3-2 Vegas, and now Utah, who's been winning most of this game, is now behind. That's Dowd from Hannafin and Sissons. Colton Sissons with 2 points tonight. He's got a goal and an assist. My butt is getting sore because I've been sitting here for 2.5 hours. But nevertheless. Ooh, man. Utah's got the guys to come back and tie this. They got the scorers. They just need to put it all together. Vegas chips it in. Utah getting it out. They're going to chip it into Vegas' zone. Hart behind the net. He gives it to his defender. And they get it out. This is now going back to chip and chase hockey. Puck in the neutral zone. Utah trying to get it out. They can't. And now it's a 2-on-2. Utah holds on. Vegas fighting for opportunities, and that puck is shot wide. That is bouncing all over for Utah. They still can't get it out of the zone. Vegas, they get it. Now Utah gets it. Couple turnovers there. No icing, no offside. Mammoth fighting for it in Vegas' zone. They get it to the point. Shot wide. Paterka can't find anybody in front. Vegas will carry it out. Huge hit there from, I think maybe that was Cole Smith. Utah clears. Keller can't get anything. That's path save. Shot from the point. Nope. Couldn't finish that. Keller. Shot on. Save by Hart. Vegas clears it. Schmidt back to get it. Under 10 minutes to go in the third period. Nick Schmaltz going in, looking for a guy. He doesn't have anybody now. He's got to make a play. Doesn't really hold on to it, and that puck is going to go down, but it's not enough for icing. Ian Cole is back, and he's going to slow it down behind his own net. Less than 9 minutes to go here for Utah. They are getting outshot 27-24. Saved by Hart. He's going to play it. Not really sure Korzak knew that, but Vegas will now get it out. Swatted away by Dursey. Not going to get any extra curriculars there from Keegan Kolazar. So we're going to have a stoppage with 8:20 left here in the third. We're going to get another TV timeout. Nick Dowd, huge celebration as he has put Vegas in front, 3-2. See, I timed that well. Timed that really well. I'm tired. Can't wait to get some food in me after this. That's going to be nice. Yeah, I'm watching highlights. Look at all these people at Buffalo who are outside, cold as shit, rooting on their Sabres. How cool is that? That's what sports are all about, man. Okay. I think we're getting back into the action. Third period. Vegas up 3-2 over Utah. Nick Dowd has the Knights in front with under 8 minutes to go here in the contest. Dowd with the last goal. He got assists from Hannafin and Sissons. Mark Stone scored on a power play earlier in the third period. Tie the game. Hurdle from Marner on the Stone goal. Vegas leading shots on goal 27-25. Vegas leading in hits 49-25, almost again doubling up Utah in hits. Utah still leading in block shots 19-12. Colton Sissons has 2 points in this game. Trying to see if there's anybody else who's kind of interesting with points. Not really. It's just Sissons. Sissons is the only player with multiple points in this game. Each team has 3 minor penalties. Terrible clearance by Utah. Vegas will send it back in. Saved by Vamelka. Just a reminder, Game 2 in the series is Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time in Vegas. Game 3 is Friday night in Salt Lake City. Those are the only two that also 6:30 p.m. puck drop. Those are the only 2 games that we know with start times. Carter Hart with a save. Whistle blown. 6:53 left in the third. Oh, man. Yeah, what a start for Utah. I think Utah at least, even if they don't win, Utah has to feel comfortable like they can go toe to toe with Vegas. They can keep up with Vegas. I don't think there's a concern about that. But Utah needs to have somebody step up here. Cooley got the Mammoth's first goal at the end of the first period with 10 seconds left. That was Cooley's goal. And then Kevin Stenlin kind of got a fluke goal. And that's a huge save by Vamelka with 6.5 minutes left to go in the game. Still just keeps it a 1-goal deficit for Utah. Breakaway chance there for the Knights, and they cannot put it home. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Utah trying to break out here, trying to get the puck out of their own zone. They finally do. Shot. No, offside. And now we're going to get a little bit of fisticuffs because I don't think whoever shot that knew it was offside. And I frankly don't know if I did either. We'll see if there's any penalties that come of this. It's 6:05. Now here we go. Kyler Yamamoto getting back in the action. We've seen this a bit tonight, not as much as I thought after the whistle stuff between the 2 teams. See what the penalties are, if there are any. Looks like somebody's going to be getting escorted to the box. Bit of a high stick on Keller from somebody, and then back the other way. There's the missed opportunity for Vegas to double their lead from Smith. Pad save by Vamelka. And there's Gunther. Thought he had a real opportunity, but didn't because it was offside, but still shot it anyways, and that's what led to all of this. Kolazar going after him. Dursey comes in. Somebody's in the box. I think that's Yamamoto. And we're going to have 4-on-4 for another 2 minutes. Kolazar in the box. So Kolazar and Yamamoto both are going off, I think, for roughing. So we get some 4-on-4 action for another 2 minutes. 4-on-4 action didn't result in anything earlier in this game. Not sure. I need to double check where the Yamamoto infraction was. Either way, we got 4-on-4 action for 2 minutes. See if this opens it up a little bit for either side. See if anybody can take advantage of it. Yeah, 4-on-4. Nothing really coming together here yet for Vegas or Utah. Oh, here we go. Here's Schmaltz. Saved by Hart. He makes a pad save, kicks it to the corner. Maybe the best chance so far in this 4-on-4. Puck kind of sent down. Looks like an icing. Sergachev kind of played that chill. Sportsnet reminding us that Game 2 of the Hurricanes and Senators is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. Even though I think they actually drop at 4:30. .38 seconds left in this 4-on-4. Vegas wins. Utah wins the faceoff. That shot is wide. Okay. Vegas trying to clear it, get it out. Finally do. No room. Utah will take it. There's Dursey. Does a little left trigger, little spin in his own zone. Vegas picks up the loose puck in a neutral zone, sends it back in. And we are done playing 4-on-4 hockey. Yamamoto and Kolazar are back on the ice. Kolazar trying to find somebody behind the net. He just bounces off the boards. Playing it back. It looks like Theodore, he gets it. He ships it in. And Utah will this time send it up. And this is not going to be icing nor offside. So it doesn't really matter. It looks like Vegas has finally got it out. Now it's a lost puck there. Going back the other way for Utah. Here's Schmaltz. Schmaltz drops it off. Can't find anybody. Shot on wide. I think that was from Dursey. I think that was Krause over to Schmaltz. That's a trip, I think, right there, but they're not going to call that one. Vegas chips it in. Vimelka, he stops it. Mackenzie Weegar. He's going to skate through a guy. Chip it up. Hart plays it, leaves it there. Gunther tries to get it. He can't get it. Next man gets it. Back to the point for Utah. Trying to cycle something here. Shot. Held on by Hart with 2:31 left to play in the third period. John Moreno with a shot from the point. Went into the glove of Hart. And we're going to take one more commercial break. It's 3-2 Golden Knights with 2:31 left. Again, I'm not taking a commercial break. I don't get paid. Nobody's paying me to talk about them. Sometimes I even just do it for free because I'm a nice guy, but it doesn't always work like that. Well. What are you gonna do? Yeah, 3-2. 3:33 left. What am I going to do after this game? Probably get some food. Snack because I'm kind of hungry. Maybe cook up those chicken thighs I was talking about. That should be delicious. I can't wait for that. We'll see if we get overtime even. I mean, we're about to hit the 3 hour mark in this. But I cannot wait to get some food. I will be eating after this. Literally. Yeah, so far there's been a couple miscommunication issues, I think, with Carter Hart and the Vegas defense. So I don't know if that's coaching. I don't know if that's defensive structure. I don't know if he's figured out communicating with his defense, but Carter Hart is yeah. Yeah, buddy. .233 left in the third period. Vegas is up 3-2. Vegas has scored 2 goals in the third period, entered the period down 2-1, got their 2 goals, now are in front. They are trying to hold on to win game 1 of this Western Conference series against the Utah Mammoth. Utah with the puck low in the zone. Back up to the point. Held in. Back down behind the net. Schmaltz, I think, holds it in. But Vegas will pick it up and they will clear it out. We are approaching the 2-minute mark here in the third period. Time is winding down. Utah leads in shots, 30-29. They are getting set up in their own zone. The Mammoth, they're looking to get the right guys on, and they do. They are breaking out. Shot in. Sent around by Vegas. On the half wall, Utah tries to stop it. They hold it up for only just a bit, and Vegas will send it down and scores. Vegas on an empty netter from Ivan Barbashev are now in a comfortable 2-goal lead with 1 minute and 39 seconds left. And that, I think, will do it. Utah had a good run. Just caught flat with the curve foot penalty earlier on Barbashev. Vemelka went out, and as he was at the bench, puck was shot in. Tough finish for the Utah Mammoth, who had played extraordinarily well up to that point, trying to hold off the Vegas Golden Knights. Appear unable to do so. We'll look to get 2 goals in the next 99 seconds here, and we got something right off the draw here. A little bit of a kerfuffle there. Looks like Smith is saying something. He's taking his helmet off. It's 4-2 Vegas here. Oh, Smith looks like he's bleeding. Might be got cut. Yeah, I'm guessing he's got high. Or Dowd is Dowd's, I guess, 26. Dowd is bleeding. But it's shoving for the centerman after it was called off, and So now Dowd has to go off. He's bleeding, presumably from a high stick off the draw. Now the timeskeepers are holding up play. Dowd with a John Moxley level bleed here. Puck went in. Vejmelka, he pushes it over to the corner. Time winding down here for the Utah Mammoth. Gunther, shot save. The empty net is on. Thrown in front, nothing really there. And Lawson Krause is back on. Gunther sends it in. And that puck will trickle down into the corner, wraps around, and it's going to be icing with 1 minute left in the third period. Vegas up 4-2. Thank you for everybody who's tuned into this. This has been a fun live for 3 hours waiting for this game to start. Caught it at the end of Boston Buffalo. Again, can't thank everybody enough for tuning in, for actually willing to watch however long you did of me, myself, personally. Face-off in Vegas's end. It's Sissons and Stanley fighting for it. Shot, save. Dribbling around. Another shot. That's stopped. Utah with the extra attacker. Can't get anything going there. Nothing there. Big save by Hart. Looking around. Pass. Sergachev. Down low. Keller can't get anything again. Under 30 seconds left. Sergachev. Keller again. He's circling, looking for somebody. Can't find anything. Pass is deflected. Keller again. Sergachev. Shot deflected. Keller. Can't find anything. 10 seconds left. Wide by Sergachev. And this game is over. Some late dramatics here in Vegas. Pushing and shoving. Kolazar and Sergachev. Sergachev's throwing a couple left jabs. Keller's in a headlock from somebody. It's Rasmus Anderson. Rasmus Anderson, he's had a busy night tonight, Rasmus. Kolazar and Sergachev are still not done talking with one another. Dowd's pointing and MFing somebody. He's got blood all over his jersey. And this is only just the beginning, folks. This is game one. Final score, Vegas 4, Utah 2. Shots on goal, Utah 34, Vegas 31. Utah with a 1-0 series lead. Game 2 going Tuesday in Sin City. That's going to be at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Got to watch some of the end of the drama here. Some big blocks. Bit of a chop there by Stanley on Anderson. Anderson with a cross check. Stanley with a cross check. Hannafin and somebody getting into it, and there you go. Final score, Vegas 4, Utah 2. That concludes our live stream. Thank you very much for watching and putting up with me. This has been great. I can't thank you enough. Again, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Follow us on Instagram at SYP Pod. Listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Take a look at my baseball blog that'll come out tomorrow. I'll post that on the socials. check us out wherever you can. Follow us wherever you can. All the support's greatly appreciated. Thank you to everybody who watched. We'll be back again soon. Peace out.